From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, a.k.a. the Brown Python, Ben, a.k.a. Mexican Nostradamus, and yours truly, Benji, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music. And just literally right before we started to record, it is official. Russia is now in a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Ben, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I just, of course, like you said, literally minutes before everyone started reporting attacks all along. As far centrally as Kiev, I think there's some attacks to the north. So they're hearing explosions throughout the country right now. Multiple like Twitter videos and stuff showing launches, cruise missile launches, everything. Russia right now is defanging Ukraine. As Putin said it, he is not there to occupy Ukraine, but he is there to demilitarize them. And when you kind of tear apart that whole sentence, occupy Ukraine, kind of shows that he's just not going to stop in the separatist parts of Ukraine in the east. It looks like he may be going for the whole thing.
He's going for the full prize, huh? No half measures here.
I don't think so. And I mean, I could be wrong, but just from that sentence alone saying, I'm not here to occupy Ukraine, kind of means that he's attacking all of it.
He should have said, Mother Russia is not here to occupy.
I just didn't think that he was going to, I didn't think, first off, I didn't think it was that dumb. And second,
Go ahead.
I see him attacking the east. I just saw him only attacking the east and occupying the eastern part like he would, because that's what makes strategic sense.
Yeah.
But to take over and to attack as far as Kiev, that's pretty fucking real, man. You know what I'm saying?
But think about this. Why would he stop at the eastern part though?
Because
who's going to stop him?
Right. No shit. Yeah. You're right. You're right. But common sense would tell him to do that because, once you get to, so I was just, we were kind of talking before we started the show, Germany and Ukraine is about the same, is less of a distance between those two countries than between, Houston and El Paso.
Wow.
So imagine if someone told you right now that El Paso was being attacked in a full-scale attack. How would you feel? Other than a little later. No, I'm just joking.
Well, it depends on vetted by who. I mean, come on.
Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. But flashback to I don't know how many episodes ago, but Rick, we were talking about naming the second best Texas cities. Because obviously we know what number one is, but I think Rick, your first choice was El Paso.
It was El Paso, yes.
And now you're shitting on it.
Now you're just like, oh, fuck El Paso. Okay. Hopefully the cruise missiles fucking nuke them. I mean, but think about it. I got a special
place in my heart for El Paso. I do.
How terrified would you be though? How fucking scary?
It would be a little close for comfort. It would be a little too close for comfort.
Right. So the whole country of Germany right now is that fucking far away from the Russian bear.
Yeah, but Germany's a NATO country. Russia's not gonna fuck with NATO, man.
Dude, so is fucking Ukraine.
Nah, they're thinking about it.
No. They're extended protector status, ladies and gentlemen. They are under the charter, and we are doing nothing about this.
Well,
So what do you think Germany?
Every case is different.
No,
Every
think
invasion
about
is different.
Everybody. No. What do you think they're gonna think about everybody now? Dude, I'm telling you. I saw him trying to occupy the east, maybe to fuck with people and to kind of put his dick in there.
And this is why. So before, Ben, you disagreed with me, and I'm okay with you disagreeing with me. The only thing I was saying, no, about the fact that this to me was gonna always happen. And earlier before we started recording, Ben's like, no, this. Well, I guess what I mean to clarify what I meant by that is in my head, once this started going in these conversations, and you could see here, man, it's tricky these days, man, with all there's so many, the thing has been going on so many different fronts, right? There's the misinformation, there's the way his media handles it, and all this shit going off. It's like he's trying to see, it's a poker game. Germany says one thing, and are they going to get, because they're kind of looked at the biggest economy over there, and and then what's Biden going to say, blah, blah, blah. And then I just didn't see this thing unraveling once it started to escalate per se. And once he saw that it was clear, and well, to your point too, you said that he's kind of backed into a corner. And that's what I mean. It's like, that's what I predicted, was that somebody was going to get backed into a corner because there was no logical way out of this. And then some kind of action is going to happen that's bad. And that's what I think. I think it ramped up to the point where, yeah, the kind of worst.
No, I mean, what? Yeah, but okay, so Putin, this is a perfect time for him to strike. Okay, it was. I mean, Bill Biden is literally, the Neville Chamberlain of America. He's not going to do anything. It's a lot of talk, and Putin's going to steamroll right through that. And you know what? You're right, Ben. He may go after Germany at some point because he sees the West as being weak. Why not? They had it once before already. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Okay. I mean, we're gonna go historically.
Biden's not Neville Chamberlain. Okay.
No. Just historically, so typically, like people say whatever about Putin, but he is a cold and calculating person. What he's doing here, though, is not cold and calculating.
It's stupid.
That's the problem. It's dumb. It makes no sense, right? Why? First, he's going to expend it. He's already put 2/3 of his military into this venture. If they steamroll all of Ukraine, the sanctions alone are going to be a nightmare for him and on them mainly. And on us, of course, it's going to drive oil prices up, but that was always the point, right? I mean, yeah, it was always the point. That's always been the point, because I mean, the truth of the matter is that, well, we can get to that second part about the oil, but in the end, Russia strategically would have been smart for him to just take the eastern regions and just declare them independent nations and cut off from there. Now he's defanging all of Ukraine. He's basically turning Ukraine into a Japan. He is going to unilaterally defang them and demilitarize them. And then that's it. Now Ukraine is now completely under the protectorate of the USSR, because nobody else is going to be able to supply arms to them. Very similar to how Japan is with us. This is not only is it unilaterally stupid, but it's a very aggressive move on the world stage. So that's what I don't get about this. So typically, yeah, Russia would be smart. They take the eastern bloc, they take the east, do some backroom channels, get some aid, move some money over. People would forget about a couple of Putin's bank accounts and life goes on. But this type of move is substantial in the fact that if he's really, truly trying to take over all of Ukraine, which is the assumption I'm taking now with the way that there's multiple attacks across, I believe now they're saying 20 cities across Ukraine, all from the east all the way to the basically Midwest of the country. He's making inroads for it. Right now is the bombardment. So this is the softening up campaign. They're creating the beachhead. Troops will start rolling in there tomorrow or later on today in their time. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why Russia would.
What do you think happens now economically to Russia? Because obviously,
money. We gotta make money. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always about.
Money. What kind of money?
Well, no, but what I'm talking about is sanctions.
Oh, I mean, it's the same old jerk off shit right now. That the pipeline deal is off supposedly with Germany, which will last roughly 30-45 minutes before Germany goes, well, we Reichstag. Before the Germans probably cross tail in 2 weeks and just go ahead and do the deal anyways. They're from what I heard, it's not going to do anything because Russia has already shaped their economy to deal with these sanctions.
Benji, were you asking Ben about how the Russians are going to deal with the sanctions? Our great leader Kamala Harris already mentioned this. She addressed it already.
Did she?
Benji?
Our great leader.
So yeah.
Did she?
A reporter asked, will sanctions deter Putin? Exactly what you asked, Benji.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris said, yeah, she was very responsive about it. She said, within the context then of the fact that the window is still opening, although it is absolutely narrowing, but within the context of diplomatic path still being open. There.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a
That's-
definitive answer, sir.
That's
That
so
is-
definitive.
Oh, dude. I don't know why you asked Ben. I don't mean
But
Kamala
when-
Harris already
when-
addressed it.
No, that she
No,
did. She did. And the my response, my retort to that,
Yeah,
to her, her answer to that question is, it's like the window that she's talking about. I can't really conceive unless it's open to waft in, or to waft out to communicate to the neighborhood that there is indeed blueberry pie being baked and presented, as an artificial orifice of a sculpture for the world.
Oh,
And on the
I see what you mean.
hind legs of this pony that were taken around the cul-de-sac for little Jenny's 6th birthday, that's when you can truly open that window.
Yeah.
And when when the time window closes just a hair, that's when it's time to.
That's when it's time to. Okay, that's
And
how
that's
I'm
when
gonna
it's-
say
what?
it.
That's when it's time to
ladies and
open up.
gentlemen,
That's how it's going to affect Russia. I get
ladies
it.
and gentlemen, I hate to interject this, but we had a possible contender to the middleweight champion, and I believe that Benjamin James has fired back with that, I would say, almost timeless, iconic piece of rambling
Thank
that
you. Thank you.
therefore has put Kamala Harris back in her place after her just fruitless answer and just complete madness rambling. I mean, is it a cat working on your car?
Nope.
Pretty fun. No. So Benjamin James once again retains his crown, ladies and gentlemen. Bah, 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 bah. We still have the reigning
Middle
middle
word.
word champion.
Appreciate that. I'm glad we got that out of the way at the first.
I know I was a little
segment
nervous for a
too.
little bit. I really thought she had you on that
It's all right.
reply, and it was scary, ladies and gentlemen. I was like, "Fucking Ukraine's following, our champion middle word person's following." We were just gonna watch society crumble as we cruise into World War III. But
And you know what we are, Kamala and I? It's like when
Horse?
you're watching. No, it's like you're watching a sitcom. And
Yeah.
there's 3 aside from that, you're watching a sitcom and they sort of revolve like maybe 3 little plot kind of subplots in and out of each other.
that was awesome.
There's Russia and
Wow.
Ukraine is like the big, that big wave that's going up and down. And in between, like when it's subsiding, that's when Kamala and I come in with this little champion, this back and forth.
I like
This
it.
piece.
I like it.
It's
Yeah, I like it. It was like
it's a
watching
competition.
Federer and Sampras, or
It really
Or
is
the-
that
yeah, it was.
volley, that back
It
and
was.
forth volley.
it's fucking amazing.
It's great.
I've never
It's
seen
great.
anything like it. It's like it was like beauty. It's poetry in the middle world.
Oh, thank
But nonetheless, what are these sanctions really going to do? I mean, I don't know. I think I've read that was a cool thing because I actually read a couple articles discussing that, and basically Russia's whole economy is already shaped for sanctions. Everything's already shifted around sanctions,
you. Yeah.
aka the reason why they have, unbelievable hackers, cryptocurrency, things of that nature. They have ways that are already sanction proof. Well, oil prices go up, yeah, but that was the whole point, right? Because the wonderful thing is like, oh, oil prices don't get up, and oh, we're not energy independent. Yes, we are. The United States is energy independent. We ship more oil to the world than anybody else except for Saudi Arabia. No, we still do. Look it up. Except for Saudi Arabia. So guess what? All these fucking people going, oh, their gas prices are going up. Hey, guess what? It's the gas that's being pumped from your backyard. Because
it's not true.
No. Ask Citgo, Exxon, all their executives were being put forth on the same question. They said, well, we have to price according to the world price. No, you don't. You're an American company, fuckface. All of your digging permits, half of your fucking money, your tax breaks come from the American people. So why aren't you cutting us a fucking break on the price of the oil instead of trying to give us this fucking wing wang shit where it's like, oh no, it's because the world market, we have to price according to that. That's bullshit.
Because here's the thing. Look at this. It's just, I can make a little analogy to, let's say here, right? Like within the United States. Yeah. Because they don't have to, is why they don't. Because they can, as long as they make enough, all you have to do is just keep a reasonable, like if you're two competing retail establishments, right now. That's the same thing that's going on with the inflation, right?
Yeah.
You have like, the big major player, they're going to set the price. That's kind of the standard for the industry. And as long as they can still make a profit with whatever that line is, whatever that line of margin, then the other one can, okay, well, we can set ours because we want to remain competitive. We'll just set it just below, just a notch below, so that we can still remain profitable. It's the same thing with like, oh, that's a good point.
I don't know.
Like,
well, who bailed out all the oil companies?
I think that probably is how it
fracking?
works.
Fracking's not all these other things are it's bullshit. The oil companies are holding us, the American taxpayers, the people who keep them in fucking business. They're not cutting us a break. They're not doing anything for us.
I
It's
mean, the
bullshit.
Keystone Pipeline used to provide 130,000 barrels a day, and that was closed by Joe Biden.
Keystone, whoa, no, Keystone. Okay, Continental Pipeline still working substantially. There's 2,500 more oil leases from the Gulf. We still produce more oil than almost any other country in the world.
We can produce more oil than
No,
yes,
we're
of course,
still
but
producing
we're not
more
doing
oil.
it.
Yes, we are. Look at the numbers. If the United States substantially cut its oil, then the prices of oil would skyrocket. We have just as much impact as OPEC does. And guess what? We don't cut the American citizens who have paid and bailed out these companies on multiple times. They don't help us out. Oh, we have to set it according to the world price. That's what they all said. That's a farce. We're producing just as much oil. And now with this little anomaly in Russia where they pump out like 8 gallons and it's mixed with vodka and cocaine, guess what? That's fucking nothing. But guess what? Oh, the gas prices is going to go up another 30%. Oh, yeah, because a couple of no, it's bullshit.
Oil prices are priced based on demand. They're priced on supply. And
there's a fuck ton of supply.
I don't know. There isn't.
There is.
Not being produced here in America.
Yes,
we're gonna import it from Russia. We're gonna import it from Saudi Arabia.
We don't import our oil from Russia. We export oil from the United States to the world.
Okay,
your argument's incorrect.
To be a few years ago.
It's still happening now.
No, it is
it's
not.
It's still happening now. The only people that say that, dude, Biden
had to ask OPEC. Biden had to ask OPEC to increase supply, to increase drilling, from them. Okay, why did he do that?
Because he has to. Because all the American oil, like I've already stated, all the American oil companies base their price on what OPEC sets it at. They don't care about the American people.
Okay,
we're still being robbed. No, we're still exporting oil to the rest of the world, bro.
We're not. I'm sure we are.
And also, we also import oil from Canada. We also import oil from South America. We also have, dude. When it comes down to it, that is a farce. We're still producing just as much oil.
I don't think so. I think it was reduced at least by 850,000. At least by 850,000 barrels.
That's a drop in the bucket. Per day. That's a drop in the bucket.
It's not a drop in the bucket.
It is a drop in the bucket because
that's a lot of oil.
Not as much as you would think. No, because last time I checked, I think what? So OPEC just in the Saudi Arabia, I think it's 50 million a day. These are massive fucking numbers, and that's just one producing consortium. We're not talking about Venezuela. We're not talking about parts of Russia. We're not talking about anywhere else, really. We're not Africa. We're not. Everyone else is pumping oil. That's what I'm trying to say. In the end, while this has been the narrative, that's not the reality. And to be quite honest with you, I will say the Biden administration has been completely complacent with this concept because they're aiding in the inflation of oil prices.
Yeah.
I
believe that. Yeah. I mean, they got to appease their environmentalists.
Exactly. But
they got to appease their environmentalists. Yes.
We want wind energy, but we're going to sign 2,500 more oil leases in the Gulf. We want this, but we're not going to give subsidies for these renewable energy resources. So look, I get you. Right. You're right. But we're allowing this narrative to play while prices are increasing when all we can actually do And everyone knows we're still producing the same amount. We're just being fucking robbed.
We're being robbed.
It's just a fucking sham. I'm not saying the Democrats. I'm not saying the Biden's not complacent, but it's not complacent the way you're saying. I think he's complacent in probably a worse way. It's not even a way that is ideological. Like, I want a cleaner world. He's being complacent because they're just allowing them to rob us.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's far worse. Like, I kind of wish that it was him trying to be like, I want a cleaner world. It's not. He's just allowing, and American oil companies are allowing foreign companies and countries to dictate the price of oil that we pay here. But look around the world. Nobody else does that.
Why do you think prices were lower during the Trump years?
Well, I think the prices were lower during the Trump years because Trump played into the narrative that we're flooding our markets with oil. Remember, as much as we found out about the stock market in the last 2 years with GameStop to AMC to small cap companies, is sentiment amongst the market can play into making it bearish, or it can make it into a bull market. And I think what Biden's doing with his contempt maybe that's probably the best way to put it, but his contempt towards gasoline and oil,
or the American people.
Well, whatever you want to say, but the contempt he has towards that market has created a bullish market where these wild swings will occur at any point in time. Whereas Trump made it more of a bearish market because he was like, we're flooding oil everywhere. I'm going to drill in your asshole to get oil. So at that point,
he was flooding the market.
Well,
that's what you need to do.
He wasn't really flooding the market because it's about the same amount we're doing now, but he was just able to stabilize it in a different way. Whereas, like you said, like Biden, I think has to appease the environmentalists, but in the end, he hasn't changed anything.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. But it's allowing them to increase this fear that there's no oil, which of course does what? Increases demand. You run out of toilet paper. Fucking GameStop is $487 a share.
Is that what it is right now?
No, it was. Now it's down to one something. It was remember, it was 487. Yeah, a long time ago. But you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
That's what I think. So I think I honestly think we're kind of saying similar things, but I'm just saying it. I'm thinking of it from a different way because I think it's way more like, I think it's really evil what's happening here. But nonetheless, back to it. I would like to say before we probably move on from Ukraine, I would like to pray for all those poor people in that situation. You know, I've grown up in a bad neighborhood. You hear gunshots. It's fucking terrifying. I couldn't imagine hearing cruise missiles going off in the distance. I couldn't imagine the fear that any of these people have right now with the fact that everything they know could be destroyed instantaneously, that they could wake up and everything be gone. You know, my family survived a tornado. I've seen utter decimation.
Y'all survived Houston.
And survived Houston. But you've seen utter decimation that you couldn't stop, and it's terrifying. So I pray for all those poor people tonight. I'm sorry your leaders fucked you up. I'm sorry that we live in this weird type of situation where this weakness is allowed to prevail, not just from us, but internationally. It's just we live in a time when war and these things should really not be any type of concept anymore. We're smarter than that, but we continue to regress. So prayers for you guys. Stay strong.
Can you imagine, we both have 3-year-olds, kids. Can you imagine like being a dad in that kind of situation? Like, what do you do? Like, okay, they're bombing my country. I probably don't have a job to go to tomorrow. What are my kids going to eat? I only have food enough for next week.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You don't think people weren't buying up all the toilet paper over there?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we have a fucking winter storm over here, right? We have another winter storm in DFW. Fucking went to the fucking grocery store. No toilet paper. Fucking bottled water's gone. This is a winter storm for 2 days.
Yeah.
These fucking Maluka Lukes are fucking running around, fucking grabbing water and hoarding gasoline over here. And it's 2 days. What do you think people are doing when it's the end?
Can you imagine right now? Think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. Like, or not even an analogy. It's just a different place. What if we were in like Ukraine was, right? And their big bad Russia was about to invade, like, you know, the whole situation. Can you imagine how fucking panic shopping would go down as far as,
Bro.
like you said, hoarding I can't even.
Oh man,
Bro, there wouldn't be cat
Look.
litter. There wouldn't be fucking
There wouldn't be.
anything.
Okay,
bro.
first off,
Anything.
if that would happen here in America, we'd all be shooting each other first.
Right.
Before,
Well, that's
before
the
the,
thing.
enemy
No,
came
yeah.
over.
It'd be loose.
Yeah.
No, it would get to looting at that point.
Yeah,
big
get to
time.
looting
Yeah,
and
no, you're right.
shooting and murders. And
Yeah.
so the other country, by the time they arrive, like no one's alive anymore.
No,
And everyone that
dude.
is alive, no one has bullets anymore. So
You know what? Shit, they wouldn't even have to fucking invade.
Bro.
'Cause
And
There
now.
would be, we just destroy ourselves
Jesus.
at the potential threat of invasion so badass that all they had to do
That's
was
all
just
they'd have
like
to do, just
drive,
like whatever.
drive through in some Toyota Tacomas and
Oh my god.
you know what I
Well,
mean?
hopefully
Set
they
up,
put
just
a
see,
highlight.
you know what?
set up a couple Wi-Fi passwords.
I see a
Fucking
bunch
take
of
over.
fat dudes setting up a militia trying to take on the Russian military and just get
No, but that's
fucking
what would happen.
hosed. Oh
That's what
my
would
god! I
happen,
can see a
too.
bunch of jackbows like, "Oh, I'm gonna get them Russians. We're standing for America." And as like the 2 cruise missiles that obliterate them hit them, they just, you know, they're laying down, crying, dying on a flag. It's just, yeah, guys. I just couldn't imagine the terror these poor people.
I mean,
I really hope that everything works out, man. I just,
Yeah. If Russians invaded Texas, though, I think I know what would happen. You know how we have deer season, and
Bro.
you know, we'd have Russian season all year round.
bro,
And
don't try to attack
Pe-
Texas
people would-
during the summer.
no, don't
Like
do
the
that.
Russian, it's the opposite of Russia. Don't try to attack
Yeah.
Russia during the winter. Don't fucking try to take Texas in the summer. Tanks be melting and shit. It'd be bad, bro.
No, well, here's
You're
the
right.
thing though. Like we're joking like to a degree because yeah, obviously if another nation that had fucking
The Nads.
well, you know, like yeah, fucking launching missiles and air attack, like yeah, that's whatever. But you definitely have a good point when it's like it'd be a fucking problem. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't just occupy it that would be where it would get a little tricky because yeah, there's plenty of people. The entire citizenry is fucking armed.
Dude,
So, I mean,
DFW would go into full nuclear mode.
Well, no,
It
but
would
can
be
you imagine
fucking
if it was
nuts.
that
Trump
because-
flag, like trucks with Trump flags, like charging the front
Bro,
line.
Tanks.
But if it, well, think about it though, because yeah, if it was that
Motherfuckers letting tigers out.
severe, if it was
You would have
that
the tigers
severe,
out.
no, but yeah, if it was completely like, oh no, it's being toppled, there's no more law, like you're not, it would
yeah.
completely get a fucking chaos that I don't, I don't think anybody's ever seen.
Oh my god.
That would be fucking interesting because we're like we're in a nation of insane people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not
we
even,
shoot each other for
I'm not
fun.
even, I'm not even trying to be funny. No, I'm not even being funny. I'm fucking dead ass serious. All of us, if you compared us to the rest of the world and just sat everybody with a psychologist, like a neutral ass, like in a vacuum psychologist that doesn't actually exist, but it's like more of a mathematical thought that was judging these people on their sanity, they'd be like, yeah, every single 350 million of these motherfuckers are batshit crazy. I'm not even kidding. That's true.
Yeah.
Like we're not in a normal human state of condition. Therefore, but we all have guns, well, at least here. So this was the best science fiction or concept I think we've ever entertained.
Oof,
on this
that'd be
show.
right. It'd be like the purge.
Dude.
It'd be the purge
Yeah.
for the invading army. Like we
That's
used to
actually-
see like motherfuckers like wearing like ski mask and shit, and like hockey mask, and just dudes like cutting themselves in the front line. We would probably be the closest to like what like the Romans when they ran into something and they saw the Celtic armies like cutting themselves and shit. They're like, what the fuck are we getting into? Who are these savages? And in the back, you'd see like just like dude, it'd be bad. It would be
It'd be-
bad. There'd be like chicks getting
Yeah.
pregnant on the front lines. It'd be a
That's what-
horrible fucking thing, bro.
That's how the remake of Red Dawn should have been. You know, instead of
Oh.
remaking Red Dawn with stupid China
Like
or with
Colorado.
Korea, yeah, in Colorado, it should have been made in Texas.
Texas, bro.
Red Dawn,
DFW,
Texas.
you just
Say,
see it.
somebody-
You see this line of like Chevys and like fucking like Ford F-150s charging the front line like with their Trump flags
flags.
flailing in the back with all jamming Leonard Skinner just fucking bringing the
Hell yeah.
pain.
All right. No, good. Then we have a beer after the victory, and then that's it.
Somebody go write that script.
My God.
Somebody.
That's the greatest movie ever. Just could you see this line that's like 15 miles of pickup trucks with Trump flags, like dudes like firing deer rifles, jamming Leonard Skinner, like with their barbed wire tattoo arms,
and
like
not-
hanging out the doors.
But not only that, too, like, because too, that neighboring states would come to join that fucking party. Like, if there was an actual
Louisiana would
that's-
show up.
Louisiana would be
bro,
like, the boots
they
here,
would call-
boss. It's gang
dude,
sign.
anybody within 1,000 miles.
Oh my God.
This
With
would
a
be
gun.
like, that'd be a real thing, man.
You're Russian season, man.
Yeah, bro, it'd be gangster.
That'd be a-
Oklahoma would come in as suicide bombers because they can't do much else. It'd be fucking just crazy, dude. It would be, oh my God.
Nice.
I
Could
hope
you
that. I
imagine
hope
that?
to God that's never a reality, but in my head, that would be very intriguing to see how that.
Oh, and just to let you know,
that's it.
guys.
I never really ran that thought that far through before.
Oh, it's
That-
a fun. It's a
that's why I'm
fun.
little bit-
It's a fun mental exercise.
It's a mental
because-
it's a mental exercise is what it was.
Well,
but-
because what would they would do if Russia was smart, right? They would attack from the West Coast to gain momentum, because by the time they got to the Midwest and the South, they would just run into this iron wall of pure racism and hatred and xenophobia. They could never penetrate. It would just be pure hatred. It would just be like, that's my fucking country. I mean, there'd be dudes like fucking chewing on straw and just
And
like
that's the thing,
just
though,
spitting
like,
out like the
normal,
most
but-
racist, xenophobic things one could think
hey,
of.
but check this out too. Like, and this is something too that you don't really think about because it's like a fish doesn't know the fucking water's wet. Like, a normal citizenry isn't
Oh my
fucking armed like this.
No, I know, dude.
Like, probably 30% of adult males have. I wonder what the fuck's that statistic is.
What's that? How many
Like,
guns we have?
well, I'm just saying, like, the percentage of people, not that own like a gun or two or whatever, like the percentage of the population in, let's just say, Texas, that owns like a fucking, like they have another room for their guns, like that's
Yeah.
like,
Dude, yeah, I know.
There's a
I mean,
decent population
bro.
of those people.
I mean, I can name at least 5 people in my family that have rooms just
That's
for
what
their
I'm
guns.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bro.
You
I
just
just-
know 5.
I
And
do
then,
know
I don't
five.
even think the guns
Off the
blood
top of my head.
relatives.
Dude,
Blood
I don't think-
relatives.
Blood relatives, yeah.
Do you
6
even think
degrees
the
is
guns are
Kevin
as bad,
Bacon,
though?
real quick. What's the population of Texas?
31 million. I'd have to double check. Hold up.
So yeah, dude, just kind of explore that math. So in other words, I'm
No,
just saying
28
that's
point
that's a lot of
28.7.
weapons.
Bro, but really, I don't think the guns are as powerful as the pure wall of hatred, xenophobia, and racism that
Well, no,
they
but
would
everybody
encounter in the
gets-
Midwest. Like the West Coast would fall except for Skid Row. Like it would just be like this war, and then they would just go around Skid Row because they just don't want to deal with that shit, right? So they would
They don't like the
they
smell
would
of feces.
so like Skid Row would be like what was it, West Berlin or East Berlin? That's what Skid Row would be. It would be like that little enclave where they're like, fuck that, we're not going in there. They'd melt to the edges, probably get to everywhere, and then as soon as they hit the mountains in the Midwest and the South, it'd be pure savages, and like it would be Lord of the Flies. Like
Well-
you'd see like Russians being like just strung up and like quartered. It would be it'd be brutal.
because that's
the
it.
only way they can come in is through El Paso because you got the Sierra Madres and the Rockies.
Oh,
so
we
they
are
only have
back
that-
to El Paso.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
that would be
boy.
the entrance point into the West. Into the
Really?
east,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
think so. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't think so. No, I think you know what they would bypass. You know what? Actually, Russia, I know what they would do. They would completely bypass the South and just veer. They would take out California, duck into Canada, and then duck back out. Like
This is
to New York.
Minnesota.
They would no. They would just duck. They would attack California, take that shit out, go into Canada, duck back down to New York, and then attack New York and the East Coast. And then they would just be like, "We're good.
Okay, we're
All right,
good.
We don't start no shit. We don't want no shit. All right.
From South Carolina down.
Yeah.
We're okay.
You guys are good. Okay. Just remember that we're fine. All right. We're cool. You just see like all these like fucking like dudes with like Dale the trucker type dudes, just like no sleeves on their fucking shirts, just standing there waiting at the borders, like panting, waiting to go. Oh man. Dude,
Wow.
I just it's fucking madness. So, anyways, but nonetheless, once again, prayers for all the people in Ukraine. I think the big thing is if you're out there in Ukraine, I doubt you're listening tonight or when you do get a chance. But remember,
You never know.
Turkey and several nations, I think Poland are going to be accepting up to 500,000 refugees. Just get the fuck out of there. I'll be honest with you, your country's not going to do anything, and my country's not going to do anything. Take care of yourself.
We may be the voice of comfort to a lot of people. You never know that.
Well, I hope so. If you guys get the fuck out of there, we're not doing anything. Biden's not doing nothing. No. Trump's not doing nothing. Nobody's doing shit for you, man. Your country's not going to do nothing. Find the nearest refugee center you can get to, and just get out of there. Because if Russia does really roll on y'all, you're going to have some serious problems. So
yeah. Well, you never know. Hey, you know what else is happening?
There's somebody I know too.
What's up?
What were you saying, Benji? Is Benji stuck?
Oh no.
Yeah, he's just staring at the camera now. So,
I always wanted to do. I always wanted to get like a little pin and draw on his face when it gets stuck like that. Yeah,
that would be nice. You could. He's smiling. Never mind.
I got all froze up for a sec. No,
draw a big dick right next to his face. That's gonna be so awesome.
I was just gonna shout out, man. This kind of hit me just now. Honestly, I've got a pretty decent friend, like a solid acquaintance. Let's just say that still has family. He's originated in Ukraine and is living here in the United States, but he still has a ex-wife and a daughter. I can't imagine what that must feel like.
Yeah, it's for real, man. It's fucking scary. War is terrifying.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, imagine, okay, you guys ever live by an air show?
Yeah.
Imagine that, hearing those fucking jets, except that they're not there to do loop-de-loops. They're there to fuck you up with 75 millimeter cannons and fucking missiles and bombs. Imagine a C-130, they're called the air gun ships, right? These things got 530 millimeter cannons, a couple of Gatling guns, multiple other type of ordnance. Their whole purpose is to just destroy everything. Imagine seeing those things coming at you. It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. This whole thing's terrifying. War is terrifying. So,
you think about it, so needless too, because it can be avoided.
100%.
Hurricanes, earthquakes cannot be avoided. We get that,
right?
But war can, and so there's no point. There's no reason to put people through all this.
Yep, exactly. That's what I'm saying, right?
That's why it should be avoided at all costs. But then,
it shouldn't even be an option, right? We're fucking intelligent beings. Right? It shouldn't even be a real option.
Not really. We voted for Biden.
Yeah, I'm getting so fucking. We voted for Trump too. So it's not like we're fucking rocking this shit. And at some point, someone voted for Reagan's senile ass.
Well, they voted for Carter too.
True that. I'll give you all that. 2 points for Rick.
Oh, sure.
But
nobody's safe in that.
You see this, and now I don't know. I just feel so bad for those people. Being a parent, I think war really fucking hits me harder.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine, because my whole point, the whole point of being a parent is protecting your kids as much as you possibly can. Lord knows there's shit that can always happen. But imagine that.
Imagine, and this is kind of a dark transition, but imagine this while we're on this kind of morbid thoughts. Imagine if you did have to put a son or a daughter to rest, teenage son or daughter, and maybe there was, foul play, something like this, and the family's already in shock and in grieving. But you can't make solid plans for any kind of funeral arrangements to close the deal, because the city that you live in can't keep up with the amount of bodies. and they're having to resort to using a parking garage as a morgue. That's what's happening in Baltimore right now. So what would normally the turnaround on, and mind you, this is already a horrifying process for anybody that's involved. And to put another degree of difficulty in getting your closure, or at least some semblance of closure. So what would normally take like a 2-day turnaround, now families are waiting like 2 weeks.
And the thing is, it's not COVID related. Most of it, a lot of it is because of the high spike in murders,
right?
In Baltimore, that's even a worse thing to think about. It's like, okay, it's bad enough that the morgue is overfilling, but now you got to wonder, why is it doing it? Well, crime is so horrible in Baltimore that there's a lot more people dying than they can keep up with.
Yeah,
I mean, you still have your standard stuff, your heart attacks and your overdoses. And not everybody gets an autopsy. I mean, an old man that's 85 doesn't get an autopsy, right? But you have so much murder going on, which I don't think we're far behind here in Houston, by the way. But they're actually thinking about building a bigger morgue. And I don't know, that's how you take care of the problem. No,
it's not. Well, that's the thing.
Not.
It shows how close we are. We've referred to this quite a bit on the show, of the rising crime in our area, and I'm sure obviously overall probably going on, but definitely accelerating here to the point where, like you said, we're one step away now from Baltimore.
Yeah,
like that's the next. You know what I mean? If you're already looking for like, fuck, we need a bigger morgue. Well, Baltimore needed a bigger morgue too. The only thing is they had to resort to using a fucking parking garage because they didn't have a structure in place. At the rate, like the construction couldn't occur fast enough for them to utilize it. So in other words, we're getting right there. In other words, we're not there yet, but
what about Chicago? How does Chicago have this never-ending morgue? Right? I mean, not to try to be a prick, but like Chicago has 5 billion murders a day. Like I don't understand how they're fitting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you're here, Baltimore. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Hey, I totally get Baltimore. Is a pretty that's a rugged place, plenty of murders. But fuck, Chicago. How do they even have a morgue? Do they?
Well, here's the difference.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a good point actually, but I think the only difference is like Chicago, kind of similar to us. I mean, it's even it's way bigger than us. But what I mean is, it's like there's enough. Baltimore's not as big of a economic power, right? If you look at it like that, like if it's a country.
Yeah.
So even though Chicago has major problems, there's still tons of industry. So in other words, the infrastructure is a little bit different there, much like Houston, that it would be in like a Baltimore, right? Or a Cincinnati or some, a lot of times like a Memphis. So there's a lot of the cities, or Detroit. Right. A lot of the cities that have like the worst kind of horrific looking problems are sort of rough economic, whereas like big cities, right, because of the population, you're going to have any city, you're going to have crime and things like that.
Right.
But it's different. Like the bigger, in other words, there's more money to throw at law enforcement, even though that's already becoming a problem here too. But what I'm saying is, in theory, right, the bigger metropolitan areas, they do have a little bit more infrastructure to sort of absorb the problems that are probably on scale bigger, but they can handle it a little bit better than, once again, like a Baltimore, a Memphis.
Well, I get that, but like everyone's system was flexed with all the deaths from COVID, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what's making this whole thing happen.
Well, no, but now deaths from COVID have gone down substantially. I mean, 70, 80%.
Yeah.
So at one point, Baltimore had more deaths from COVID than anything. But now they don't have that many deaths from COVID. And now murders are, how many fucking people get murdered there? Like, are they having more people die there per day than fucking COVID? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that doesn't make sense in a way. You feel me? Like, it's kind of like, wait, what?
You know how we used to see those videos of like from China of like these little like boxes stacked up, and people were saying that those were COVID deaths. I kind of think those are like murder deaths in America, sometimes. You know, they probably stack them up into like big boxes, into a big stack of boxes.
Well, and
And that's how
Is
people
part of your,
murdered
is this part of
in
your
that city.
solution?
no, but
Not yet. I haven't come up with a platform yet.
but you know what though? There's an actual kind of a logical answer for that question. It was like back when they were inflating their COVID numbers. You know, this is proven, right? To get no, because they're getting money from the government.
Yeah,
They're getting right.
No,
So
you're
with
right.
murders though, you ain't getting shit with murders. So
Nope.
you're on your fucking own.
Yep.
So that's kind of at least to just sort of answer that sort of the puzzle, you know. So yeah. they can handle COVIDs because they're getting money for it, whereas murders like no fucking get shit.
It's like wait. This person was murdered by COVID. Wait, COVID carrying a 9mm? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, COVID had a knife? Yes. You never see, man, COVID's nasty over here. We got some ghetto ass COVID. I don't know. I just, to me, that just sounds crazy. But at the same time, it also sounds like city mismanagement, right? I mean, ultimately, these cities, they're just mismanaged. Just like again, like, and I hate to harp on this wonderful fucking shithole I live in, but once again, we have in Fort Worth another fucking ice storm.
Nice.
And guess what?
Oh,
Fuckers are getting wrecked left to right. Dude, it took me 2 hours to get to work this morning. 2 hours.
wow.
And it normally takes 38 minutes. 2 hours to get to work. You know what? Motherfuckers were getting to wrecks out here without ice even being on the road. Nonetheless, after having multiple ice storms in a year, multiple ice storms last year, multiple ice storms the year before that, to be quite honest with you, there's been one every fucking year. We still don't have the infrastructure to help with that shit.
You can't.
So it just sounds like city mismanagement. No, that's what happens when you have a bunch of fucking cronyist Republicans. And
oh boy,
it's true. That's what they are. These are the most cronyist Republicans in the country. This honestly, this is complete city mismanagement. I mean, we should have actual.
They don't put sand on the dirt or anything. They don't put like salt
dude,
on the street.
No, Jim goes out and pisses on the concrete, and he says that's what works. Dude, we had. I mean,
it kind of does.
I saw 9 or 10 wrecks, and the ice wasn't even out yet.
It's because assholes drive so bad over there, man.
Dude,
they really do.
They do, dude. I know my brother. You know my brother. He visited this weekend.
Yeah,
and on the drive here, he immediately chugged a beer. And he was like, I've driven everywhere.
Yeah.
He goes, I've driven in Mexico City. I've driven in Europe, driven in New York City. I've driven in LA. He lived in fucking like that NorCal. Lived it. He goes, I've lived everywhere. And I've never in my life encountered a dumber, shittier driver than the ones I've encountered today. He goes, I kind of lost faith in humanity today.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. How is it that traffic's
May
going?
May God have mercy on y'all's souls, huh?
Traffic's going like 30 on the freeway. You have these assholes who zoom by like at 80, and you're like,
how
are you gonna stop, man? Like, I see traffic up ahead. Why are you going so damn fast?
Rick, I can't even tell you. No. We have that, and we have these fucking goody two-shoe people who get in the far right left lane. See, in Houston, it's a wonderful evolutionary aspect because if you get in the left lane and you go slow, someone's eventually going to kill you.
Yeah, they will.
Right? You're going to die. And through evolution and time, Houston has made a better driver. Whereas over here, these fucking niptards will get in the fucking left lane and you'll see them in their entitlement go 75 or like, it's like,
why?
Dude,
are they wearing masks inside the car? Is that why?
Yeah. Yeah, no. They've definitely got a Trump flag on the back because you don't understand. I'm being American. We go 75 unless I'm drunk. But these fucking it's just horrible. This is the worst. My brother even said, he goes, no, you're right. Because you're right. Because I call him every time.
You are right.
I call him every time. I call him every time. Like, I call him. I call my brother and sister like daily. And so I call him and he goes, I used to wonder why you were so mad. And I get it now. I get it now. He goes, I'm going to pick up the phone all the time because you need support because I've never seen shit like this. He literally, like, we had an emotional moment. I almost felt like crying. I was like, you understand? You know what I'm going through. It hurts.
You're
so
gonna
bad.
be like in Fight Club, like
It was. I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
being hugged by Meatloaf.
I know, right?
Remember that? Yeah.
His name is Robert Paulson.
He brings him in real close.
It does, dude. And I'm gonna hug his big man tits. But you know, and something else I guess to cry about is I guess we're kind of seeing what's going on with the CDC now, apparently wanting to give the the vaccine in vitro now. I mean, as soon as a girl gets pregnant, they want to pop you with it. I mean, so Rick, let us know about this new standard from the CDC regarding
Well, that's not
vaccines.
exactly right. But what's happening with the CDC is that because they fuck so many kids over by having them wear masks in schools, they're not developing their speech quite as well as they should. So instead of fixing the problem, the CDC said, hey, how about we don't make a problem and we just lower the standards for speech advancement for toddlers. So now the guidelines by which kids should be able to speak by a certain age, that standard has now been lowered. And the reason it has been lowered is because kids are wearing masks in schools now. They're not picking up the speech like they should. So that's the solution to everything now. Instead of actually fixing the problem, we just change the parameters so that we don't have a problem anymore.
Right.
You know,
it's like
it's happening with crime too. I mean,
yeah, it's like 50 to 30 words, but it's what here to the thing is with the mask, like I'm sure that plays into it too, but you got to factor in a lot more things than that because you have but the point of the thing is that they're not going for the problem. They're just you're
lowering
putting the bar down. Yeah. It doesn't really solve any fucking thing other than, but whatever. But my point is though, but there are a lot of things that led to prior to, being home, right? Relying on the homeschool, like they're not interacting with their peers. So that all factors into
Xanax.
But it's still, for sure.
Mothers, you know how many moms fucking got knocked up on Xanax and other type of antidepressants while being pregnant? I mean, I'm not trying to say that what you're saying isn't right. I mean, this mass shit probably plays into development, but how many people are just on some type of antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication and getting pregnant, and no one really talks about certain things becoming more prevalent in society with children?
Like what?
Like everything. I mean, like, okay, so there used to be like, with Prozac, there used to be more discussion regarding women being on Prozac and getting pregnant.
Oh yeah.
You don't hear that as much anymore. Like there's a talk, but they still let them do it. Oh, because the, what's it called? You know that term, the benefits outweigh the risk.
All right.
And so I'm just saying, like, don't get me wrong. I think mask over mouths, right, could definitely be an impediment to understanding speech because I think A, it slurs speech, and then B, we get a lot of a part of listening to somebody is watching their mouth, right? A lot of times when you see, when you talk, when you hear somebody, you do kind of their mouth, you do get a pronunciation, you understand like verbal context and stuff like that. So I definitely think that plays into it too. But I think this is a multiple fold, situation in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, not only that too, there could be a lowering. The reason they would lower the standard in the beginning is because obviously the population sample that they're testing continuously falls short of what their old standard was, right? So lower the bar, that way all the things that are in place because of these standards can keep moving the way it, right? Because if you just say, oh, wait a minute, now 50% of them are failing and falling below this thing, well, then you have to actually address some things, right? But it's almost like a curve on a test,
the problem with that is that the standards haven't been changed in 20 years,
right?
And then this year they said to change it this year.
Well, maybe, trends occur. So changes, unfortunately, don't always reflect the instantaneous thing matter that's happening. Maybe this has kind of been happening the last couple of years. I don't know. I get what you're saying though. I feel you. I think the lack of socialization, stuff like that, and instead of really dealing with the problem, which is, hey, we're not letting our kids go to school. We're making them wear masks. We're making these things happen. I definitely think it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I get you.
Well, the other question is too, like you said, Ben, it's like there's other factors could be also too.
Yeah.
But it's easy to attach all of them.
Yep.
To the same thing because that's the constant, right? Because everybody had to deal with it. So it is, yeah.
Either that or more stupid people are having kids.
That is true.
This is idiocracy, guys. We are in
the problem.
a real
You can't
idiocracy.
You can't detach. Well, listen though, you can't detach. This is kind of like on the bigger point. You can't detach anything from like the COVID fucking correlation.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? You can't,
True.
even though it
deaths.
could be other shit.
Yeah.
You almost attribute any sort of spike or incline or any kind of fluctuation in any measurement of anything you can attach to COVID right now.
True.
Because how do you separate it?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
like
I get you.
We could have a whole fucking microcosm of other bullshit going on under the surface that was already headed that way.
Oh yeah.
But now that we have this, you can attach so many fucking statistics to whatever.
But to be quite honest with you, it's probably more stupid people are having kids. I do see that.
Could be.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
I can see that
is idiocracy, guys. We are in idiocracy, and we're gonna have, one day it's oh boy. And for anyone out there who hasn't seen this movie, go ahead, take a good 2 hours of your life and enjoy and see the future of the United States and the world. And once you're done watching it, you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll kind of realize that everything's coming to an end. But as we will not be coming to an end, but we will be taking a break, ladies and gentlemen, to rest our brains, to take a piss, and to bring the party in the back. And this one could be adventurous, ladies and gentlemen. We got plenty of whodunits, wild shit.
We do.
Nice.
We do now.
We got whodunits. We have everything here. We have all the entertainment for you to keep your day rolling. So we're going to be back. Everyone can take a breaky poo, take a pee pee, maybe a poo poo, and just kind of relax. Maybe do some artistic drawings of screenshots of Ben when he was talking. But
that's an option. That's always an option.
That was good. All right. Who we jamming out to?
Let's go a little Mike Tacklebox.
Nice.
Mike Tacklebox to take us through this river of despair, and we'll come out on the other side a little more jovial. At least that's
the river of darkness.
Darkness.
Oh man, maybe the name of the episode, and we'll see.
Nice.
And we're back. Party in the back underway. And sometimes, guys, don't hold us to the fire on this, but sometimes these
I think
stories
I'm turning Japanese.
Yeah. Sometimes these stories will make Party in the Back for various reasons. Sometimes not because the subject matter itself is somewhat light, humorous, or funny. We just kind of reserve the stuff that don't make the the first segment skip the noise.
Yeah.
So don't.
This is side B.
In other words, don't. We're not trying to make a light of this.
This is B-sides. This beats.
Yeah, it's the B-side. This is like where all the whatever stuff gets left over. So this story I came across this week. So recently here, and forgive me, I'm not going to be able to recite the numbers involved and how much the settlements are, but there's a population of people that are now getting compensation for the wrongdoing of the government. Basically, let me explain what happened. So the Japan had a national law. What was it called? Basically it's eugenics. They had a law to where the government had the right to sterilize people if they had certain disabilities, right? And this is like in the wording of the actual law, that their offspring potentially could be inferior. This existed up until this wasn't outlawed until like 1994. So there's still people, mind you, that are alive that are now finally getting settlement payments for this shit. And now when I tell you about this, you're thinking, oh, maybe they were whatever you can think of in your head as like an ailment. But this is people that are were hearing impaired that were getting sterilized. And mind you, they didn't have to sign any kind of consent, nor did the parents. So like if you had a kid, some of these people that are getting these settlements, they're fucking hearing impaired, and they get born, and then they're forced sterilization without any consent from parents or themselves as an individual. And call me dumb. I didn't know that shit existed until today. I didn't know Japan. Now it doesn't surprise me that much, really, but I didn't know about this law, and it was just pretty fucked up, man. Kind of eye-opening. But I'm glad that these people are,
Yeah, it sounds like they want to create a master race or something.
No,
I mean, you get rid of the disabilities in the society. Yeah, it's eugenics, all right.
Well. Also, and I'm not trying to put this out there as like,
what you saying?
I'm a tiptoe around this shit, but they were attacked with nuclear weapons. So, like in an inadvertent way, they sterilized maybe to kind of slowly move that out of their genetic chain. People that were more affected by the radiation versus others. And so I'm not trying to
I wasn't expecting to hear a positive counterpoint.
You know why?
That was interesting. That's an interesting thought, though.
I mean, but think about it, right? Because they've had 2 serious nuclear detonations, several years of radiation mutation. What other way to remove that out of the gene pool than through sterilization?
Wow.
So if you can progress into the future, and I know it
doesn't make it
morality,
less fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
The ethics of the morality of that particular program would be highly fucking suspect. The possibility that maybe that's why they were doing it. I mean, without saying it, they're like, we're trying to get rid of the riffraff so that Japan can, continue to be a healthier, I guess, maybe, or whatever they want to see nation. Maybe. So
a healthy, happy society.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of like that whole master plan community.
No, really,
but yeah, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what popped in my head. I was like, well, maybe they're trying to get rid of what would they be really trying to get rid of? And the guy, well, maybe they're trying to get rid of all the mutations from, 2 thermonuclear detonations. I don't know.
But once you open that door, though, the problem, I mean, I'm stating obvious.
That's some Gattaca shit.
Obviously, props. No, it is, because really the only thing that turns the key on starting that process is the convincing, or what's your sales tactic to get that across to the public, right? So if you frame in a hypothetical scenario, you could frame that like, oh, well, we've suffered nuclear war, so the only way for us to in other words, Ben, you sound like Hitler right there, just trying to
you know what I've been hanging around Rick way too much.
It's starting to rub off.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what,
you should just put him in you should concentrate on this population and
concentrate.
I mean,
I love how Rick speaks in like these codes where like he'll space the words to like every 3 words he'll be like concentration of the mind in a camp that requires you to have to use chambers that you're like, wait, hold on a second.
Or we can put people in the chambers of knowledge.
to help
then
them sleep better.
Gas them
Forever.
up, gas up their minds with
Oh
pure.
boy, oh
Easy, but
and there went all of our podcast of the year awards.
Oh boy.
Boy,
but you know what's funny?
Hate group.
On that same kind of thought process, though, how do you guys know that that's not what's really going on between the ongoing competition between the vice president and myself as we sort of exchange? We're having an open.
Wait. Are you saying? Wait. Hold on. Are you saying
Secret.
that you're fucking the vice president of the United States?
Oh wow! No,
Is that what you're saying? Are
No,
you
I'm gonna
saying
edit that out? 'Cause
I mean, I would actually respect that.
that's
actually pretty cool.
actually
Wait, are you telling me that you're ramrodding the vice president of the United States?
I don't
Verbally.
think that's what I said. at all.
Verbally.
For the record, that is
Not what
in
Benji
no
said.
way, shape, form, or fashion.
Pretty
what
sure
the-
that's what you said.
not even. Pretty sure that's not what I said. I'm nervous that that kind of talk can get you in trouble around here.
I don't think so.
I don't-
you can,
I don't
I
think.
think you can say that. I'm pretty sure you're okay. Oh my god, that was
I don't
awesome.
know. I don't think
Oh
you can
my
say
god.
that.
So you telling me
No, that's not what I'm telling you, man. That's not.
Well, then,
I mean, not that bad, honestly. but-
I mean, hey, you can work it out. Maybe that's why she's not talking very much lately.
That's what I'm saying, man. This is open air secret conversation because y'all don't understand that middle word lingo.
Oh well, maybe you're giving her the good old middle word.
If the only people, if there's only two people that understand the frequency, you can say whatever you want.
You can lay it out.
You sure
lay it out, dude. So I guess that would make her dude the first cuck.
I guess so. In this little society we've created in our imaginations, I would suppose so.
Our imagination.
I would suppose so.
I'm discounting it. And this figment of non-reality that occurs in an ether that is not part of anything that is true, as we are satirical people. Disclaimer, asterisk.
As we merrily float along the way of the river of non-truths, and we enter the cavern.
We're in the land of
cavernous
Santa
gaping.
Claus and the Easter Bunny. As we speak of my incestuous affair with the Kamala Harris. That was so awesome. Oh shit.
As we soar our mighty wings into the kingdom of falsehoods and imaginary fantasies, I stand before you as your
As the
king.
flying panthers soar above my head in this figment of my imagination.
On a 500-pound sheepdog with wings.
So stupid. Oh shit. Okay, I'm sorry. Where were we gonna go? Where were we gonna go with that? That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's it. So Japan, yeah, that's good. You should pay those people because that was fucked up.
Yeah, no shit. Fuck you, Japan. God damn
Wow.
it.
My God.
Don't fucking sterilize people without them knowing. I mean, at least like give them a fucking like coupon, right? To like fucking McDonald's or something. Shit.
Give them something, man. Free hash browns for life. Jeez.
That would be pretty badass.
It's a fucking
Dude, I would
breaks
take
in
that.
person line.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
would
McDonald's-
take that too, man. It's
McDonald's
like, yeah, we
hash
sterilized
browns.
you.
Yeah.
We sterilized you.
Oh,
So here's
but
free hash browns for life.
I got free hash browns for life. Oh, dope.
Hell yeah, man. All right.
Sweet.
You know what? That'd be horrible. Oh my god. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. So moving on from the sickness that is Japan and their sterilization policy and the figments that we have coerced and went through the valley of lies.
Well, we come out on. Yeah, we'll go for it. What?
No, I was gonna try to break in the chick that the grilling.
Oh
the,
yeah. So
yeah.
man, damn well on Skip the Noise, we love us some UFO UAP talk.
And some
So anytime
figments of Kamala
and
Harris.
some figments, right? And some people would say the figments of imaginatory beings, but we take this very seriously. The real talk has ramped up over the last couple of years in the government's involvement with unidentified aerial phenomena over the, because at the end of the day, from a Department of Defense standpoint, yeah, it's pretty scary if there's shit that's flying in our fucking airspace that we don't know what the fuck it is. So that's kind of a problem. So anyway, the Biden appointee to as the Inspector General, Robert Storch, was being asked questions, one of which by senator from New York, Senator Gillibrand. So she particularly questioned him on, well, so once you're in this position, are you going to continue the work that's been done in investigating UAP sightings over Department of Defense properties or areas, airspace? But he said, well, yeah, I would imagine as in that role, I would continue whatever. And she's like, no, would you sign? Like she tights the fucking screws like real hard and fat. Like, and he wasn't expecting it. You could tell. And she's like, no, like, well, do I have your commitment right now that you will, remain or stay on the path of this investigation to its logical conclusion? Like basically like,
hey,
fucking like, yeah, backing him into a corner to like confess, like you're gonna find some fucking aliens or but basically, but she does say like, so you will, and he's like, why? I haven't. I got to be honest with you, and I'm all paraphrasing here. I got to be honest with you. I don't have as much familiarity with that topic as. And she's like, okay, well, so do I have your commitment that you're gonna fucking go home and read a couple books on it and figure this shit out and sign before your appointment? You're going to. Basically, she did say that, like she wants shit in writing saying that he's committed to, you know what I mean? Like getting down on this research. And he finally, like, she's so fucking intense about it. He's like, yeah, okay. Like, of course, I get it.
Well, okay. So like, like you said, so over the last, year, right? We've really ramped this shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of talk about UAPs and UFOs, etc. We got a big fucking, we got the new telescope heading out to basically even look at planets for biosignatures. It's been a really big year, right? For space exploration, and UAPs. So it's about time, right? That everyone starts doing that shit, right? It's about time that someone starts pushing more and more for that shit to try to figure out, like what's really going on. So I'm glad that there's people pushing. And you know what else I'm glad about? I'm glad that this is starting to get a big air of legitimacy, right? I mean, people are starting to really look at the UFO issue or the UAP issue, and they're starting to go, wait a second, there is something really going on here. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool. I think it's badass. I think I love seeing these senators get grilled and anyone get grilled, or whoever, just getting grilled regarding that. I think to me it's pretty fucking massive.
Making a real taking it as a serious thing. Yeah, it is interesting to see that this talk, but mind you, stuff like this definitely doesn't get covered by mainstream outlets, right? I'm sure maybe you can find a story here or there, whatever, but it doesn't get pushed to the forefront. I mean, obviously there's big shit going on right now. I'm not saying, but
no, UAPs, man, we got to talk about that shit.
Well, no, but that was always going to be the case. This shit's always going to come out, at strategic times.
Wouldn't it be dope though? Wouldn't it be dope? Like, okay, here we are. We got fucking, all this shit going on right now that we spent a lot of time in this podcast already talking about. But imagine right now, like just all of a sudden, here goes all this shit going, and just one spaceship, one flying saucer, right, just appears in our atmosphere. How would shit rapidly change?
Overnight.
Like how fast, right?
Immediately.
How rapidly do you think Russia would probably just immediately stop doing what they're doing and everyone just go, what the fuck are we going to do now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
the
how fast
conversation
would
would
everyone
change.
piss
Yeah.
their pants? How fast would they be like, oh my God, okay, look, how
Oh,
about
so-
this? You can play with the blocks too. We got a really big problem. You know what I'm saying? Like how
Well,
fast would
remember-
that happen?
Remember the scenario we were sort of creating, but where it was like panic shopping before, like you thought this shit was bad before the ice storm. You think if we were about to get invaded by Russia, the panic shop. Well, think about this. How bad would the fucking panic shopping be if we're confirmed that there were alien visitors that had,
my God.
you know, some sort of vague, undetermined
Bro.
goals within while
Oh.
they were here that we don't know about and we don't know their intentions.
Oh, dude. I mean,
Oh.
think about how
It'd be-
terrified we'd be.
Mass
the-
looting.
Oh, mass looting. I think people would honestly, I think it would cause such a chasm in our society that people would just lose their shit. And it wouldn't even be looting anymore. It would be just like you would have a group of people that go full on purge, and then the other half would just go like into like praying. And then the aliens would just watch this madness. Maybe that's why they don't really show up like that. Maybe because like they did it to a couple of worlds and shit just got really fucked up.
Yeah.
So like, okay, look, guys, rule one: don't just appear over their atmosphere, because the last couple of times that happened, we started a purge, and then like in like some type of crazy suicide off. So let's not do that anymore.
Well,
But-
the thing is, is too, like if they're so. This is good. Let's stay. Yeah, I like this. I like the direction we're headed right now. So if there was, you know, an outside entity from another world that was here to occupy, even if that was their goal, though, what they wouldn't even really like engaging like militarily probably wouldn't even be necessary for them. You know what I'm saying? Like putting themselves at risk. Like they'd have the upper hand like so much that they would just probably be content with existing in and out of our fucking realities as they please. You know what I mean? Like they don't even have to exist. They don't even have to exist in our world at the same time. They should just sort of like overlap and be here and do whatever they have to do without us interfering or even knowing they exist. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I mean,
What if they were this? This was on the text thread. I just had this thought, dude, and I was driving. I was like, oh, fuck. And it's somebody like me who's obviously gone down the complete rabbit hole with thinking about this shit. It occurred to me, and I've thought of this sort of concept before, but I didn't flesh it out in the exact same way I just did recently. So I've talked, even on the show, I've said like, hey, what if like, you know, outside entities per se were, maybe they're not even physically sort of presentations like we even think of it, like it still matter and it still follows the same rules that we exist in, but it's a wholly different thing. Like for example, the thought that I had recently was like, oh dude, what if they're microscopic? Like they're still setting, like who says they have to be a certain ratio to the landmass that we exist in, right? Because we're constrained by gravity, and we would have evolved with those constraints. Like there's only a certain amount of landmass, there's a certain amount of food, there's a certain amount of resources. The universe though is infinite. Like scale doesn't mean shit when you're talking about the universe.
oh yeah,
So
no.
there do you fucking see what I'm saying now?
Oh, I totally.
There's a
get that, yeah.
planet that's like just the dick tip outside of our fucking atmosphere that could fit on the size of your fucking pinky. But maybe that's an entire fucking universe.
Oh
So
yeah,
there could be civilizations that have microscopically traveled across, you know, fucking galaxies and are operating in our fucking, we'd have to look at them with a microscope and still not know what the fuck's going on. Just like, you know,
Hey, bro, can't
Hey,
look
you
at
know
mine
what?
with microscope, all right, bro? You
When you-
need fucking
Benji-
Hawaiian telescope to capture my
aliens.
shit.
You know, when you said that, Benji, in the text thread, You know what? The first thing I thought was that episode of Futurama where like Fry gets infected with some worms and they actually make his brain better. They make him smarter.
That is the greatest episode. And then remember he's playing that foghorn that
Yeah,
makes
he's
like
playing that horn.
that makes like that beautiful, and what's her name, like loves him because it's so
Yeah,
beautiful.
Layla.
And he's like, oh, you don't really like
And he's like,
me.
he hates it, so he starts like jagging up his own neurons and everything because he doesn't want to be so smart.
He starts like drinking more. I love that shit. It's the best fucking. That was a good one. That was one of the best ones, dude.
And I
Fucking
thought,
bad props
yeah.
to Futurama.
if we had microscopic aliens, man, I wanted to infect my brain to make me smarter. You know?
Yeah, but why would they do that? They wouldn't do that because then you.
I know, man. Instead we get these shitty viruses that like kill you. What the fuck, man?
Oh, right.
Tired of that.
Oh, dude.
What if that is the virus? It's the fucking alien.
Dude? Well,
It's
yeah,
a fucking alien.
but that's the truth, though, right? What happens if we're the result of like an alien virus, right? I mean, really, if you think about it,
Yeah.
if you wanted to send things across time and space, mass costs so much money
It does.
to send into space, right? You have to get out of the atmosphere. You have to propel it at this insane rate. But if you have something that's literally weightless, it can approach the speed of light over time quite well.
No, yeah, and if you think we're crazy,
Yeah.
what's actually happening when you plug in? It's something you carry in your pocket all day long.
Yeah.
All the different possibilities when you hit that open screen, you unlock your phone that you just charged out of an electrical outlet that's transferring all that data, or not the data, but the matter is going in there, and that matter interacts with other matter that runs a fucking circuit board that's been shrunk down, just like we're talking about. We operate on that same logic where things move quicker and faster because they're shrunk down. So just like Ben said, why would you send a 6'2", 180-pound male in a spaceship across fucking no, you wouldn't. That's why we're like, oh, it's not possible. It's not possible. Yeah, because we're thinking of it in terms of the constraints of our evolution based on the like gravity and like all the different factors that dictate size, capacity, all these things, energy output. What if that was completely all the parameters were completely different, and there's a society on the fucking tip of your finger? Like, I mean, it's the same thing. We're doing it right now. Microchips have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Now we have a computer in your pocket that outpowers a 1960s computer that took up a fucking football stadium.
Well, if you think about it, also think about just overall, when it comes down to it, like there's space between atoms, right? When we think of things that happen or occur at a quantum level, we don't completely understand everything, right? There's not, when we do, but there's not a unified theory that goes from one level to the other. So if you start really thinking about when it comes to like super ultra small, we don't know. There could be whole civilizations that live in electrons.
Yeah.
We don't fucking know. We don't fucking know. So right now, right now within us, we could have like fucking like we could have Rome in us somewhere. We have no idea. Yeah, dude. So right now, yeah. I mean, aliens, we could by taking a shit, we could have destroyed a whole civilization. Like the shit the shit that came out of us is the cataclysm for a whole society. Like we destroyed a world.
Or it could be pinworms, you know? Could be
pinworms. Could be maybe the pinworms. But dude, think about it. If you shit out the pinworm, that's the destruction of its whole reality. It's like, no,
yeah, pretty much.
I'm
He ends
no
up in water
longer
and
in
he
my
goes into the
host.
city sewage system.
Yeah,
And then you got
it gets
problems after
eaten.
that.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Or like sea
I like
monkeys.
that. Oh, dude. Did y'all ever see that South Park where they got the sea monkeys and like
No.
no, dude, and Cartman like he got like the 8th graders like sold him cum and he didn't know what it was, but he put it in with the sea monkeys and he created this civilization.
Oh, that's a homunculus.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that's what
like
it
a
was.
homunculus. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. So it like created a whole civilization of like sea people that like had a war. Dude, it was
That's
that
awesome.
That's the great. I'm watching that when we get off tonight because I don't. Oh, dude, they speaking of winter storms, they canceled. So tomorrow, so work from home day. Yeah.
Wait, what? Because
Yeah,
y'all having
dude.
a
Like, no, the whole
election?
city's shut down tomorrow.
Really?
Whole city shut down.
Dude,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the
yeah. My
fuck?
kids aren't going to school. Nothing, dude.
Oh, that's not good, man.
I know, dude.
I tried
know,
working
so
at home with the kids at home. You can't do
Oh, I
it.
do it all the time. I've done it a couple of times.
Well, your kids are
You know
older
what?
too.
Oh, bro, not to be the morose sack of shit at the end of this one, but dude, hopefully tomorrow, later on in perpetuity, when people hear this, the stock market's performing quite a bit better, but it's not looking good right now.
Oh, not with this Russia thing.
Just hit 2 points under, and that's Dow's future, so that means like 7 or 8 tomorrow. But who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? It might rally. The military contracts are going to go up.
Bitcoin's down 10%. Even that went down.
Wow.
So as we watch our world spin in the drain of shit, as
Nice.
just going down the tubes, just remember, guys, the sun will come up tomorrow. Things are going to be what they are. Annie's going to eventually get adopted. But just remember, don't take this shit too seriously, because you weren't going to do anything anyways. But seriously, what the fuck are we going to do against the Russians? So true. It's true. Don't take it too seriously, guys. We're all fucked. But just remember, just join three fucking jacked, powerful men in our intergalactic discussions of inequality, politics, and just remember to skip the noise and keep. Dude, I'm sorry. This is just fucking crazy. I'm still gonna believe we have
doing real well, man.
We have a fucking war going on right now.
It's okay.
And the stock market's crashing. It's fucking.
That's all right,
man. It's real good stuff. Well, I feel like sometimes it's the best sort of logical, dramatic way to finish the show. I was guilty of that last episode. I said something to the effect of like, in our black pessimistic heart, we're really not that negative. No. Like, we're pretty positive guys. Yeah. But for the sake of the show, it really does kind of you don't realize it, but we're us talking about this stuff. Yeah, future doesn't look too great.
No, but it's a little bleak right now. It might be some clouds. It's might be some clouds in the sky up ahead.
Yeah, there is some real factors that influence me saying that. But
you want to learn to swim.
Yeah. So, I just the quicksand happened, and I was trying to disprove that, and I just got sucked into it. So yeah, it is pretty rough out there. But anyway, I think that's probably about where we'll stop for this week. That was a good show. I actually,
I learned a lot. Actually,
we got a little heavy, and it did, also honestly too,
got a little hot.
We had some things planned, but Jesus, we pride ourselves, right, on staying up to date and being as quick. That's why I try to turn these things out as quick as I can. That way you can listen to it and have the, almost like the effect of being as current as totally possible. And this shit was announced. I mean, we literally were setting up our fucking computers to start recording, and this shit happened. So
I started sending like text messages. We're at war, right?
Yeah,
they're at war right now. They're invading.
It was during the same time. We're texting each other like, hey, we're okay, getting set up now, blah blah blah. And then like Russia started invading Ukraine. So that's
fucking Russia, man.
That's what happened. So we'll continue to follow this, of course.
I think Putin did that on purpose so that we can talk about it on the show. He knew we were about to be on.
He is a pretty big fan.
Yeah, he wanted to see what you say about it.
Huge fan. Yeah, he's a huge fan of us.
Pretty big fan.
He sent us like pictures of himself without a shirt several times already, and I don't
on a horse.
Keep telling him to stop, but he won't.
Yeah, he kind of sent a couple of those, and then he directed them to you, bro. He just said for the eyes of the brown python only.
So, I want to see on 89 what Mexican Nostradamus think of me action in Ukraine.
What does he think of me on
that was a quote.
As I invade Ukraine with no shirt on, and I attack with my bottle of vodka.
I need to see what brown python thinks sanctions will affect my aggression towards Ukraine.
Perhaps they make funny joke. Funny joke about his big cock. He needs big funny jokes. I love their funny jokes. They're so good, and they just makes me happy. Give me vodka.
Nice.
Oh my god! And you know what? If Putin ever invades here, we may be the first exterminated, as we have now.
But I think that's probably for the best.
Yeah, it probably is.
I don't want to live in a Russia controlled Texas.
I was
honestly.
born in the USA.
You know what? If they bring the Russian women over, I'll take a look. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
That's some
We'll keep that
90 Day
open.
Fiance nightmares,
Yeah.
bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, PSA: if you're going to foreign countries to find younger women that are way more attractive than your particular level, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work.
There's a balance there that's off, and you shouldn't play with those odds in the universe, because it's all wrong. You're not going to win. Yeah, you're not going to win that equation. Like 4 + 4 is going to always equal 8. So don't try to maybe if it's like 3.5, I can get it. No, just you're if it's too good to be true, it is.
Yeah.
So just don't fuck with that.
Yeah, don't do it.
Why put yourself don't end up like that no neck guy. That guy's
no
neck guy, dude.
He can't really come back from that.
Greatest show ever. 90 Day Fiance, the greatest show ever. I'm sorry. That is a true testament to society.
That's a train wreck of a show, but I can't stop watching.
It's total happiness to me. I fucking love that shit. I love that. That and 1,000-Pound Sisters. Plugs.
I'm not gonna say anything. I know what you're talking. I know.
Great show. Fuck you.
I know.
Bro. You watch it.
You know what? Don't do it.
1,000-Pound Sisters. My 600-pound life. I can go down the repertoire of amazing entertainment that keeps me happy. But nonetheless, you guys have a good night. Where can they find us on the interwebs before the Russian bear gets to us?
Yeah, they can find us on Instagram at skip_the_noise_podcast. You can always send me a nice non-dick pic informational email at skipthenoisepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at skipthenoisepO1. All that good shit, man.
Hey, we're also on Truth now.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, we're on Truth Social now.
Hey, why not? Why not? Fuck it.
Donald Trump's preferred social media app, and we now have Skip the Noise there. So thanks to yours truly.
Good job.
It's official, actually. So we got to cover all sides.
So when the Gestapo rounds up all the true fucking people, we'll be on that list. Great.
Hey, that's actually that's a good evolution of the show, Rick. You are more than welcome to run that side of the business. I'll continue to
wait. Don't you have to take pictures?
I'll continue to run strong on Instagram.
Don't you have to take? Don't we have to take pictures in the outfits to post on there though?
Outfits? What do you mean?
You know, the white ones with the pointy hats.
That is not true.
I'm pretty sure that's a requirement. That's like, are you a robot? No. Are you racist? Yes. Can you show us your paraphernalia? Yes.
Dude, that's like instead of they don't have that you're a robot, and you have to do like all the fucking which one is a sidewalk or whatever, and you have to click all the boxes. This one is like, are you a racist? And if you can't figure out the fucking puzzle, they're like, you're not
you're not real racist. Can you upload pictures of outfits? Yes. Oh my god. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, remember, nothing lasts forever. Shit will get better, get worse, get better again. But in the end, check us out, because we are the one true principle in this universe that continues to get better. That is Skip the Noise Podcast. You guys have a good night, and praying for the people in Ukraine. You guys, safe night. Godspeed.